The first time I met David Miscavige kind of, properly, as it were, was when I was working for the church. And I recall we had this sort of big sort of conference. I think it was about 93. It was up in the Great Hall at St Hill Castle, just up from here. And there were a lot of European lawyers and different people around. We were just discussing things going forwards and so on. And I remember sitting around a table with him. He was on the opposite side to me. Extremely well-organized person. He was following everything that was going on extremely well. I was just very impressed by how insightful he was. He had a good sense of humor. It wasn't like a heavy sort of meeting, etc. But his level of control was very clear to see. And the other thing I noticed about him is that he was very keen that everybody in the meeting would be involved in the meeting. There's a temptation. You've got somebody there who's obviously the most significant person you're talking to, but he was very keen that everybody else should be involved in it as well. Just the way he was made that clear, that he was not expecting me just to direct my communication just at him. This was a meeting, and that my communication was to everyone in the meeting. And the way he did that, almost subtly, was quite impressive to me. You know what I mean? And it actually put you somewhat more at ease, because it's one thing when you're just talking to a single person, of obviously his seniority in the church, and another where there's a meeting of people who are sharing ideas and so on. He made a very good impression on me just from that first meeting. I remember one meeting we had. There were a lot of people there, and David Miscavige was going around, and he was talking to everyone there, making sure that he spoke to everyone there, basically. And there was a colleague of mine who'd been at the meeting, and I don't know how long it had been going on, but he had to leave early. And David Miscavige obviously didn't know that he had to leave early particularly, but so he went to leave. And David Miscavige was on the opposite side of the room, and within whatever conversation he was noticed that this person was leaving, and said, "Hold on," walked right across the room and had a short chat with him before he left. It was like his level of awareness of what's going on was just unbelievable. Even in those sort of situations, you're aware that he has a sort of a vision of everything that's going on, whilst still managing to have an intimate conversation with you, which is very impressive. He's very down to earth and human as well, you know what I mean? And he will always introduce things into the conversation which are just at total human level. My brother works up in Los Angeles in the sort of same area that he does, and so the first thing he comes and he talks about my brother. You know what I mean? It's just very human. He'd been talking at some big event and so forth, and he was meeting with a few Scientologists afterwards and taking a photograph with them, which was very nice of him. And I remember standing there, my wife was with me and so on, and I thought, okay, how do I pose for a photograph like this? We're standing there, there's David Miscavige and so on, and complete professional. He sort of directs the shot and says, right, this is how you stand and so forth. And he taught me how to stand for this photograph and so on. And great, you look at the photograph afterwards and you say, actually, you can see what he's talking about. He knows how to take a photograph, even though he's in it. But he likes to see things solved. He likes to see them solved properly. He likes to see things done properly. Anytime you see his involvement in anything, it's always at the highest professional level that you could imagine, and he does get involved. He doesn't sort of do anything by half measures, you know what I mean? I mean, you can see that with the ideal churches and so on, Every one of those has been, created to an absolute, perfect standard, using the best professionals, and so forth. And that's the sort of level at which he sort of does everything.